What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? It's a Jedi's Point of View, and today we're going to be reading some more of the Book of the Sith. We are about into the interesting part of this book. My point of view, anyways. It's the prophecy of the SITH'ARI. So that is their chosen one prophecy. So, this is still Sources, Sins, Entries here as well. And he just talks about the whole chosen one prophecy from the Sith's point of view. So let's get right into it. But before we do that, don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe for more, and let's just keep reading, ladies and gentlemen. I know the Jedi myth of Mortis, of a chosen one who will destroy the dark side and bring balance to the Force. The Sith have their own prophecy. Since the time of King Adas, they have foretold the coming of a perfect being, the SITH'ARI. The avatar around my neck translates the term as Overlord, yet it is more accurate to consider the SITH'ARI as a god, as the Sith purebloods believe. Anyways. While some among the Kasasi priests deem that the prophecy began and ended with Adas, many more await the SITH'ARI's return. It has not escaped us that we could claim the SITH'ARI mantle and exert even more power over Sith space. Yet such a move could backfire among the superstitious. Not even Ajunta Paul is so careless. The prophecy of the SITH'ARI has been passed through verbal tradition. It is too sacred to be inscribed on a scroll's parchment. From the Kasasi I have learned its essence. So then right here there's the SITH'ARI code, basically, what the SITH'ARI does. So it says, the SITH'ARI will be free of limits. The SITH'ARI will lead the Sith and destroy them. The SITH'ARI will raise the Sith from the dead and make them stronger than before. So, Sources Sin then goes, I admire the first tenet because breaking chains is the essence of the dark side and the foundation of my own Sith code. Improvement through sacrifice and rebirth resonates among these people who prize breeding and alchemy. Though I have never put my faith in far-seeing, I remain convinced the Force called me here. Perhaps I am the SITH'ARI. And then Sidious has some roasts to do here. He goes, my master suggested perhaps seriously that Darth Bane fulfilled this prophecy by annihilating the old Sith Order and establishing the rule of two. Yet Bane was not free of restrictions. As my plan unfolds, I grow even closer to unlimited power. Darth Sidious. But personally, I agree with Darth Plagueis. I think that Darth Bane 100% was the SITH'ARI because his story, he started from absolutely nothing. He was working as like a slave, basically, on a mining planet. And, of course, he came from nothing, and he then ended up freeing all the limits of himself. He was a Sith. He was full of limits. When he first was introduced to us, he basically couldn't leave his planet. And then eventually he ended up destroying the whole Brotherhood of Darkness with a thought bomb on Ruusan. And then with that, he basically raised the Sith from the dead because he started the rule of two, and that's how they did things from then on, and that's how the Sith actually beat the Jedi and took over the galaxy, was through Palpatine and Plagueis' grand plan. And then that is about it for Sources, Sins, Entries. So we're done with him. And now we're going into the Malgus entries. They're pretty cool, actually. I'll just give you a quick look at how they're kind of laid out there. And they're pretty awesome with the whole uncharted piece of paper. And these entries really remind me of the game SWTOR, Star Wars The Old Republic. But I really like some of this artwork. Like, look at that. Come on, focus in. Yeah, it's pretty good. Honestly, it's a quite boring entry, though. I'm not going to go over too much of this. I don't see anything that's worthwhile talking about. He just talks about Sith assassins and Sith warriors. But we get right on into the real juice, which is the rule of two. So let's get right in there. So, power of the Sith. The Force is not fire, it is venom. In that simple maxim, it is the entirety of Sith philosophy. What Lord Khan and my other lesser predecessors could not understand is that such a fundamental truth is not evidence of insight on my part, but rather stupidity on their part. The Force is not fire. It cannot be passed from one user's lit torch to another's and another's, until an entire hemisphere is illuminated with the blaze of a million lights. This is what Khan foolishly believed, and all Sith Lords before him for the past 1,000 years. It is why the once mighty Sith fell apart long before the defeat on Ruusan. When all carry a flame, no matter how dim and guttering it may be, they soon concluded they are the brightest stars around which all others must orbit. Infighting follows, and Jedi victory becomes inevitable. No, the Force is venom. If it is poured into many cups, it loses its potency, until it becomes so diluted it is merely an irritant. Yet pour these cups back into a single vessel, and you will have the power to stop a great dragon's heart. This is the secret. This is the rule of two. One Sith must contain all the power of the dark side. One master must decide how that power shall be used. Sharing power is an act of weakness and a violation of the Sith code. Luke leaves a nice thing here. He goes, Bane was wrong. The Force is fire. When the Emperor held power, the Jedi were nearly extinguished and the galaxy suffered. I have worked to restore the Jedi Order, and we grow stronger. As we pass the flame, our light spreads. But Sidious was the only Sith. That's why he was able to achieve that power. So Luke's wrong there as well. Because if Sidious had other apprentices, they'd all just team up and try to kill his ass. And then we continue here with Bane's entry. He goes, the link from master to pupil is the underpinning of our order. Sick little art there for you. I really like that. The artwork in this book's incredible. Then he goes, yet the Sith Order must survive after the master perishes. For this reason, the master must take an apprentice. The master instructs the pupil but never gives up the smallest sliver of power. The apprentice learns through the years of study but must struggle for every achievement. If the apprentice becomes strong enough, a battle to the death will prove it. If the master should be struck down, the apprentice becomes the master and the order continues. Together, the two may attract legions of minions, but true power will remain concentrated. Always two a master and an apprentice. And then Sidious goes, Bane's power has been passed down for 1,000 years. I vow to be its last recipient. Damn, I can't read cursive sometimes. This Sidious writing's hard. Then he goes, the mistakes of Rusan. Some more cool artwork there. That's Lord Khan in the Brotherhood of Darkness, if you'd like to focus there. There you go. All are equal in the Brotherhood of Darkness. Those putrid words fell from the lips of Lord Khan more times than I care to remember. The central lie upon which Khan built his false Sith is the reason behind their watery, diluted power. The so-called New Sith Wars lasted 1,000 years. Many warlords during that time sought to control the destiny of the Sith Empire. They achieved victories from the Battle of Mizra to the Sictus Wars, but those victories were without a clear line of succession. Every single Sith wanted to be king. And so we argued while the Republic grew frail, its citizens sickened with plague and became more isolated by a decaying infrastructure. Coruscant's throat lay bare beneath our blades, but the Sith plunged their knives into one another's backs instead. Khan was not the worst of these fools, only the last. Khan created the Brotherhood of Darkness to end this squabbling, but he chose a false egalitarianism over a strong central rule. Within the Brotherhood, all members with rank called themselves Sith Lords. This was Khan's first mistake. I served in the Brotherhood of Darkness as a sergeant assigned to the Gloom Walkers, and led my comrades in the capture of many Fasim. If we had maintained a sound military strategy and followed an orderly conquest, the Republic would have been ours. But Khan was impatient. He overreached and leaped into the Burmea sector, the Republic's heart, before it was time. This was his second mistake. Khan's third and final mistake came at Rusan, a worthless world where he hoped to defeat Lord Hoth and the Jedi Army of Light. He was instead goaded into a grinding land of war. Quinlan Voss left something here, and he goes, I've heard of the Rusan reformations, but didn't know all of this. Why don't the Jedi talk about this battle? That's a good point. They probably just don't want them to know. And then here's some more art for you guys. There's what the Thought Bomb looks like. I love it. Excellent artwork here. And then so he goes, needless attrition. I watched it unfold and knew the Sith had become like the Jedi, too numerous and too weak. Khan had lost his grip. In the end, Khan followed my suggestion and pooled the abilities of the other Sith Lords to create a brute force wonder, the Thought Bomb. This was proof of what the dark side could achieve when it wasn't split among thousands. However, the Thought Bomb consumed not only the Jedi combatants, but also the Sith who had created it. It ended the war and exterminated Lord Khan's Brotherhood. Luke then leaves a nice comment here and he goes, Kyle Katarn, one of my students, unfolded the Thought Bomb's vortex at Rusan and freed the spirits that had been trapped inside for more than 1,000 years. Interesting. Then we go to the title of Darth. If my plan had not worked and Khan had not killed himself with the Thought Bomb, I would have been forced to kill him myself. The annihilation at Rusan was a gift, wiping out all those who were not worthy. I, Darth Bane, and my apprentice, Darth Zana, survived and returned the potency of the Sith to our hands, so the rule of two could be instituted. It is no accident that I took the title of Darth when I gained a mastery of the dark side, nor it is an accident that Khan and his followers rejected it. It is a title of power. It carries authority and is crowned by a judgment of history. It symbolizes transformation. When I took Darth as my title, I put away my childhood name. What does it matter that I was once a miner or a soldier? The only thing that matters is that what I will achieve. And then here it has all the Darth Lords before him. It goes Adenu, Revan, Malak, Malgus, Ruin. Their line culminates with me, which is pretty sick. They all have amazing artwork there. I love it. You can see. Come on, focus in. Yep. And then that's Darth Bane. Mean man, that's for sure. Some believe the Darth in itself is derived from the ancient Rakatan term Darath, meaning triumph over death, or Daritha, meaning emperor. But the word's true meaning doesn't come from any language, but from the proud histories and accomplishments of those who have borne the title. Darth Adendu, the god king of Prakith, who sought to live forever. Darth Revan and Darth Malak, who built a new Sith empire that rivaled the Republic in its influence across the galaxy. Darth Malgus, who led his troops into the Jedi Temple during the sacking of Coruscant. Darth Ruin, who left the Jedi Order to pursue his mononomical philosophy of self-interest and gave rise to the 1,000-Year War that concluded at Rusan, and who was among the last to hold the Darth title until I took it up again. Lord Khan preached that all were equal in the Brotherhood of Darkness, but he did not dare to appoint 1,000 Darths. In fact, he did not permit the use of the title at all. Perhaps he sensed its inherent power, and the individuals who held it, the title, would not allow rivals to live. Perhaps its use would have forced Khan to confront the truth, that his approach to the Force was a disgrace. I restored the title of Darth to the rule of 2, so that only the worthy many may hold this for the time, until the end of time. Pretty lit. But that's where I'm going to end there. That's the rule of 2. That's the Brotherhood of Darkness covered for you. That's what happened at Rusan. And these are the first 5 entries of Darth Bane's entries in the Sith book. He has quite a large entry here, so I can't wait to read more. And I hope you guys can't wait to listen. And I'll see you in the next video. And don't forget to like and subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next one. May the Force be with you.